coming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete.
Attack! Okay.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Please strike requested. Strike will commence shortly.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Caution, rain approaching.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Go! Buddy!
He's coming too.
Side ops list
Roger that.
updated. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
There's something I've been wondering. Why are you called code talkers?
Roger.
In World War II, the U.S. military used the languages of different tribes, including the Navajo, as codes, right? I know the term code talker was used to mean people sent to the battlefield to speak in those codes. Were you one of them?
Our mother tongue was indeed used for war. But I did not go. I was already over the conscription age. However, I was made to help craft the codes that were spoken. So in a wider sense, you could call me a code talker for that. Navajo is a complex language. And virtually no one outside the U.S. speaks it. I must have thought it was the perfect language to use as a code.
Yeah, in the end, the Japanese never cracked it. The cipher is king in information warfare.
Of course, they didn't simply speak in Navajo. They created substitutions for words according to a code book. and then translated those into our language. Young Diné was sent to the front lines of the Pacific Theater as code talkers. To fight is an honor for the Diné. They were the pride.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a landing zone. Deploying.
There's something I've been wondering. Why are you called Code Talker? In World War II, the U.S. military used the languages of different tribes, including the Navajo, as codes, right? I know the term Code Talker was used to mean people sent to the battlefield to speak in those codes. Were you one of them?
Our mother tongue was indeed used for war. But I did not go.
That's the target.
Age. However, I was made to craft the codes that were spoken. So in a wider sense, you could call me a code talker. Navajo is a complex language, and virtually no one outside the U.S. speaks it. They must have thought it was the perfect language to use as a code.
Yeah, in the end, the Japanese never cracked it. The cipher is king in information warfare.
Of course, they didn't simply speak in Navajo. They created substitutions for words according to a code book, and then translated to our language. Young Diné was sent to the front lines of the Pacific Theater as code talkers. To fight is an honor for the Diné. They were the pride of our people. But I cannot say this history brings me joy. Words are alive. When they are spoken, life is breathed into them. They become a part of the listener. Our words were transformed into lifeless ciphers. and used for war. Then, after the Black Anna spent generations suppressing the language.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So I guess we shouldn't be calling you Code Talker, huh?
No, I do not mind. The reason Skullface called me Code Talker was because I also am responsible for coding language into the vocal cord parasites. I am the same as those young warriors. Used for a
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Never forget that. The name, Code Talker, is a lesson carved into my being.
You said Skullface ordered you to weaponize the vocal cord.
He's coming too. Roger that.
You also said he wasn't the reason.
And he wasn't. I was seduced by the parasites. That is a fact.
How? You mean from your curiosity as a scientist?
That I cannot deny. But there is more to it. The story goes
You gotta extract him.
to the 19th century. To my earliest memory. One day, a man from the government visited our Hogan, our home. I cried as he yanked me from my mother's arms and took me away to an Indian boarding school. From that day forward, I became George. This was the name my teacher gave me. I was forced to give up my Dinek name, forbidden from speaking anything but English. If we dared utter a word of filthy Navajo, the teacher made us eat a bar of soap.
Yeah. That was the U.S. government's education policy for Native Americans.
To erase our words was like erasing our people. Their education.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Over time, the overt persecution of our language stopped. But to this day, it continues to be eaten away by the lingua franca, that is English. Many of the Diné outside the reservations can speak nothing else. And it isn't just our language. Across the world, minority languages are being destroyed by dominant...
He's coming too. Roger that.
Many are on the verge of extinction.
Enter the vocal cord parasites.
Yes, I began thinking that minority languages needed some sort of deterrent against dominant languages. In order that their peoples and cultures would survive. It was then that I came across literature at the Foundation claiming that man acquired language.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
One that distinguishes between languages
Roger.
as a precursor to reproduction. If I could just resurrect it, make it more pathogenic, I would have my deterrent against English. But I failed to hide that aim from Skullface. He noticed. Yes, I wanted to retaliate against the English language. Though never did I intend to actually use it as he planned. You know how the story ends. I was forced to study how to make the parasites compatible with all the world's languages. All but English.
However, he in fact secretly isolated an English strain.
I will not be held prisoner by the man's phantom. The English strain must not be allowed to exist either.
He's coming too. Roger that. Gaining altitude. Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a landing zone. Development complete. Deploying. Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker placed.
Attack!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Enemy presence detected. You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed. Sun will set shortly. You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker placed. Marker placed. have arrived at your destination. You have arrived at your destination. Marker placed. Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination.
You got to extract him.
Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination. You have arrived at your destination. Side optimist updated. Station arrived in place. Outpost captured.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Select a landing zone. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support
This
helicopter.
is B-Quad. I have arrived at marker. Cover fire. In hot. B-Quad is in hot. Find cover. Target acquired. In hot. In hot. Watch out, boss.
Clouds approaching.
B-Quad is in hot. Find cover. Target acquired. In hot. In hot. Watch out, boss. P-Quad is in hot. This is P-Quad. Taking too many hits. I gotta pull out.
Talk. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
gesperrt, das Delta-Sis. Und bluffen groen. Skade onbekend. Goed. Receptie begrepen. Alle eenheden, wees bereid. Uit.
Extract him.
Please device support helicopter requested. Development marker placed.
This is B-Quad. Approaching position. Das steht hier. Fokus alle Flüge auf die Feuerwehrhelikopter. This is B-Quad. I have arrived at marker. Cover fire. In hot. In hot. Watch out, boss. Get him. Target acquired. In hot. Go. B-Quad is in hot. Find cover. This is B-Quad. No targets remaining. Ending attack. This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
Marker placed. We've arrived at our destination.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
I have no doubt Skullface's plan is almost complete. At that point, I will no longer be of use to him. I must leave behind this record at least. A record of how the ancient vocal cord parasites became these abominable ethnic cleansing parasites. I believe he has two purposes for the ethnic cleansing parasites. The first, as their name suggests, is ethnic cleansing. This conflict between East and West that envelops the world will not last much longer. Once the Cold War ends, and the weight of America and the Soviet Union